English could work if you go with longbows all in. I mean, or you could try. I mean, you could try and boom with them, but I don't think that's as good.
HRE is not so
But before we get
great.
there, we've got a game.
We've got. Oh, well, we should probably get into the game. Well, where's my game scene? 3, 2, 1. Boop. Well, I don't have a game source. There it is. People, welcome in to game number 1
Welcome to
of
the
the
stuff.
Warchiefs Club this week. We're watching Synthexor playing the Roost here in the teal, and he is facing off against Vince's in the dark blue as the Frenchies. Well, talk to me about this matchup. Take it away.
Well, this matchup is interesting because you got two of the civs that can actually produce knights in feudal age. So I imagine it will be getting, obviously with French, you're going to get knights. Like that's just a given. I think where this matchup gets interesting is in where Roos decides to deviate from just playing a feudal French game, because clearly the French knights are better. So Roos could do a couple of things, right? Like they could try and play the feudal game a little bit, which I don't think is great, but if they did, they'd probably put a town center down somewhere. Uh, Also, they could just castle up, and they could really make. They can do a number of things in castle, right? They can make a couple horse archers go raiding. They could, on a map like this, that could be really useful against French that wants to take map control. Uh, they could also then upgrade their knights. There's a lot of things that Roos can do. They also have the Kremlin they could drop, and they could go. I mean, either feudal landmark could be viable here. They could go Kremlin, have some safety, get that second town center up, withstand the knights, or they can go Golden Gate Fast Castle. They could even go for like a pro scouts play. There's a lot of options for Roos. They're still very, very versatile in this patch.
Yeah, it hasn't really been figured out yet what the best approach to every single matchup is. I don't think so.
I would agree.
we,
Yeah.
we have the 1 hunting cabin start. Personally, I'm a fan of the 2 hunting cabin start now. I mean, Marine Lord made a video about it,
I
but
haven't seen a lot about it. I've seen mostly just one cabin. I haven't seen a ton of 2 cabin plays. At least not at like a
it's
plat
so
to diamond
nice.
level, but that's maybe just my own anecdotal experience.
It is just, it feels so nice if you go to 2 cabins and you go Golden Gate and then you just go on the, it's like olden times, except now you actually just fast castle with it, but you can also just do full night production from a stable plus upgrades by just chopping wood.
Yeah, Roos is in an interesting spot because like the meta was so very clear before with Roos, whereas now like they're different, but they're still they have a lot of the same kind of spikes. I feel like in power, but the way you get there and what you can do, it's interesting because everyone always went Kremlin, and we do see that coming up now. But I was wondering how viable a Golden Gate would be. But I think here Kremlin does make sense. I like the placement of it fairly well on that gold, on the wood, uh, not on the stone.
I would have liked
The
it a
stone's kind
little
of their
bit more
back spot.
forward, like right there. But I guess the deer are a movable object, and you can just push them under, like
You can
right on
push them
top.
under. Well, and again, there is a
Oh,
very real potential that we get like a pro scouts play. You know, that is still a viable thing. Maybe not so much with the Kremlin over Golden Gate, but yeah, like deer can be pushed, deer can be grabbed. The Kremlin covering all the wood and covering that gold, I do think is good. I wonder. Oh, we are going to get a second town center from Roos. However, he's going to get on that stone early, which is in the back of his base. So it'll be interesting to see. French
yeah.
doing normal things though, just building their knights, getting early wheelbarrow.
I feel like if you're the French player and you see this happening, and let's see if Vincent actually sees it happening. His scout is far and away, still scouting the entire map in his own little pattern there. So he hasn't even scouted the opponent's base yet. He's gonna walk up to the Kremlin in a second. Let's hope it's not right as it finishes. He sees the deer pack here. Okay, now he sees the Kremlin, and I mean, if I'm walking into this Kremlin, I see this positioning. It's on the gold. It's on the wood line. Deer pack is not very far away. Please save your scout. It's gonna die immediately. Well, that's a dead French scout.
That's gonna be close. No, he's fine. He's fine.
Okay, no garrisoning.
Even if it had, I think it'd have been fine there. But so now the question is, where does that town center go? Because wherever
Synthexor
places his town center is where Vince's needs to be, and that Kremlin is in a good spot to defend the first town center. I don't know if you just squeeze the second one in between, but if
you put it right in front,
anywhere else, yeah, okay, there you go, yeah, right in front of it, that would be a good spot and claim the deer. If it goes anywhere outside of that range of the Kremlin, you've got a clear spot to push, and we do see the first knights on the field. heading across the map now.
That's why I feel
so
the Kremlin is not in a great spot for my taste. Like I feel like it should be further up, and then you can just make short walls around the goal so it can't be charged, and the Kremlin will still fire. But like right now, if you put the TC in next to the berries and the deer, I mean it's okay. It's still somewhat protecting it, but you kind of need a unit here, or you're gonna lose villagers to a knight.
That knight's getting into the stone way too late. The villagers just pulled back. Now Synthexor just needs another drop off on wood and he can build it. I think you're right. Looks like those villagers are heading up northwards, northeast towards that Kremlin. And that was my other thought. I was like, he could just put the town center really conservatively on the close side to the Kremlin. But I don't love the placement. But then again, against French, it's hard to dive. So it's definitely safe. Like that town center's his and safe. So
it's a safe option, and I mean you can still push these deer, assuming you make a unit and don't lose whatever you're pushing with to this knight that is walking around. By the way, Vinces is doing exactly what I think he should, and he's going for his own TC.
Yeah, I think you just got to match it at this point. There's no pushing in. Keep up with the eco. He's only made a couple of knights, not pushing the issue too much, which is I think against Roos the right call with the Kremlin, because you could try the all in, but it's just so difficult when they could just sneak out even on a map like this. He's going to confirm that town center's placement, sees it, backs away. I like his placement of the TC, sitting on his gold as well, covering a little bit of the berries.
Yeah.
So
the one thing I
here,
don't
where do you
like...
think they go?
Yeah, the one thing I don't like, I was gonna get to that, is, well, both of them have a second town center now. It's both sitting on their gold. Neither of these players has secured any food. I mean, I guess this Kremlin is somewhat in the vicinity of extra food.
Speaking of extra food, we see
Vinces is helping
push those deer, but if Vinces is smart, he'll just kill the deer where they are.
Yeah, like
or scatter them a little bit.
He should just
deny that.
kill this. Scatter it, kill it.
He should really just scatter the deer and kill him. It's like easy pickings right there.
Yeah.
Instead, Synthexor just moves his scout out of the way and they just kind of sit there. Yeah, so clearly Synthexor is thinking about food as a long-term issue here. Again, like Vinces has the berries, but berries don't feel great. He does have that deer pack to the corner in the east that he could go for, but again, kind of far away, easy to raid. But Synthexor also isn't building any military, so
yeah, I really dislike this right
got
now.
One knight, but Synthexor's got one knight in the queue, but right now the map belongs to Vinces.
Vinces, like, yeah, as you say, the map belongs to Vinces. He went for his TC. It's fine, I guess. Your mill is discounted as French, 25 wood, so you could have just gone out for extra resources. Sometimes, okay, you're down to 4 villagers if you're going for the TC because you're not building anything. Don't need the extra food. Still, you should be out on a deer pack, on a boar. You should be taking better resources and not eat your berry patch at home.
First engagement of the game happening here. We got early knight versus French knight. I think the French knight wins out with a little scout having some chip damage on top of that.
Yeah.
He has to pull back. Synthexor has moved on to farms. He's already starting to slowly transition into farms, and I think we're seeing that issue. That's going to slow his tempo down a lot. Then again, he's got the wood for it, though. He is getting the bonus from the Kremlin. You can't really sell off that wood with like a golden gate. So we see him just kind of moving into these farms. This could pay off. Again, his base is hard to raid, and Vinces doesn't have a lot of knights. So I don't love it. I'd prefer just to have... I'm the kind of guy I just would never want to farm transition unless absolutely necessary. But honestly, here for Synthexor, this might be necessary, albeit maybe not ideal.
Not ideal is very much what I would say as well. Like, okay, he's going only knights, second stable. The problem is the French knights are just, well, better. Because they get that bonus after the charge that increases their attack power. Now, I don't know about this move here from Vinces. Yeah. I mean, he's keeping his opponent occupied. He hopes he sees the entire production, and it is the entire production. He doesn't even know about these farms yet.
No, he doesn't. And meanwhile, he's walling in his base.
I mean, that is probably a good choice, I'll say.
It's just funny, though, when you have map control to, like, be thrown out as French to be walling in. I mean, obviously, these knights could be problematic if they left. Ooh, this might come down to the micro right now with this fight. That's a weak French knight.
The question is,
The
what is
reinforcements
this fight
coming in.
accomplishing for either player? Like, this keeps
Nothing.
Synthexor at home, and Vinces is finally out on the map. Is taking 2 deer packs right as we speak. By the way, always prefer the boar if you can, because it's faster. But
It feels like Vinces is just being given map control. Like Synthesor could like go out and press and like be looking around, but he's not going to win the night battle. I mean, it's the more French knights keep popping in. We do see archers coming in for Vinces. That's an odd choice given the comp you're seeing right now. If your opponent's making only knights, archers is a very strange because Synthexor is not showing any signs of making spears yet.
yep. There's absolutely no
Knight
point
goes
going for
down.
these archers.
Yeah, those archers are dead. They're just dead.
Oh my god, they moved out? Oh, yes. Well, he moved out to the middle of the map with the archers. That is a few resources thrown away. This is the important part, though. These are a lot more resources. And yeah, well, the knights do auto-heal once you get the chivalry, which he does.
Yeah, those archers slowly getting picked off. It feels like now since it's kind of feeling unstable, he doesn't want it. He could take the fight head on. He could win. He's just he overextended and split up his archer. He lost all the archer mass. Now he's got the knights coming back in charge, and that's just too much to deal with only 4 early knights for him from Synthexor. That's just not enough.
What is happening, actually? I think we had some idle time here because right now Vinces should be ahead by like 8 villagers at this point with a second TC. Basically,
Yeah, he must
20 seconds.
Must have idled.
There's quite a bit of idle time here. Not great because he should be economically ahead quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind that his town center came up a good like minute almost later than Synthexor's did. So that could be making the difference because you see
That's
he should
minus
be still
3,
ahead
so he
though,
should
which
be
doesn't
ahead
slightly.
5.
Yeah. So what this fight and pushing out has done for Synthexor is now he's moved out on the deer and he's getting both the bounty and the food for that deer, which he desperately needs. He's got the gold to go castle right now if he wanted. He just is missing the food.
Yeah, I mean, these deer, they were basically his to begin with. He would have really liked them to be on the wood line here if we pushed them in because, well, you get extra gold from the hunting cabin, but it's not a big deal.
But now they are raidable though. Like they're just outside the range of the Kremlin. They're raidable. And as I say that, here comes the horde of French knights. Those were dead.
No reaction. That is quite a bit of damage.
2, 3, almost 4.
Loses a knight in process too.
5, and then it's gonna be 6 maybe. Yep, 6 vills. Brutal swing right there. Like that's not gonna decide the game, but that's definitely a blunder on Synthexor's part to leave that so exposed. That was my biggest worry. Was like he doesn't really have the control for it.
I mean, he has full vision through the Kremlin, so he just didn't react in time. He was busy with his own knights.
Meanwhile, another raid of his own coming in, and Synthexor gonna find the vills on the deer. And that's 5 of his own he's gonna get to pick up if he can just hit him.
That's 2 immediately. 3, 4. Yeah, he gets all 5.
He gets all 5, and he's gonna go for the berries next.
Knight.
He's gonna get even more. So
he sees them all, and Vinces thinks he's safe in the corner.
Well, he's got his scout in the trees.
That is not great for the French. The berry bush jukes are going to happen here, or we just walk straight through and die on the other side. Knights are coming home, and we try to wall in the knights. Now, I'll say this. Losing these villagers, absolutely horrible, especially after you made a tower. But these knights are now walled in, and that's a lot of value.
Yeah, it's a pretty good choice, actually, to wall them in. Because now I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in with me. And those knights all go down. The question is, was that trade worth it in terms of villager production? Because the swing, he took out twice as many villagers as he had destroyed of his own. Now it's 12-6 as far as villagers destroyed. Granted, losing this mass of knights, and they're going to realize now that there is no return home. This is a one-way trip, suicide mission. And those knights now dealing with the fact they have been abandoned.
More short
as they're getting quick-walled in this base.
And, well, they're all dead.
Rip Vladimir, the early knight right there. That was what a smart play from Vinces to wall him in like that. That was pretty brilliant, I'm gonna say. Yep. But again, you lost all those knights, but the Vil swing is pretty dramatic. Now it's 63-57. Again, not gonna decide the game, but they're definitely exchanging punches. It's kind of like 2 heavyweights just duking it out. You know, one punch, taking a punch, giving a punch.
Both of them a little bit staggering. Okay, here are the farms that we We're just waiting to happen for here. I don't like it, guys. I don't like it. There's still so much food on the map, but it is what it is.
He's got all those berries, all those deer.
Speaking of food on the map, Vince's is going into the berries here and the deer at the front of the roost base. And is finding all of the vills. This is pretty...
And just like that, the vills are... We are dead even on villager count again.
It's quite a bloodbath.
You know, have you heard the saying, Asklad, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me? Because that's what that feels like as far as those vills on those deer right there being unprotected.
And now he's just going into
like
the farms.
The first time.
He does not have range defense, so this town center does quite a bit of damage, but he also has the Night Mass to just be here. Yeah, well, that's...
Yeah, I think he makes that trade all day. And he's going for the other one, too. It's idling. Yeah, that loses a knight in the process, but I would say otherwise, that's kind of the ideal raid into someone's farms, right?
Look at this
Pick
farming.
off like 5 vills, get out, and then you let the chivalry kind of heal you back up.
That is 32 farms at 16 minutes as a Roost player. I don't think I've seen that before.
It feels pretty disgusting.
It's also not very good.
It, though.
Like, it's also not very good. There's double deer packs up here. Imagine if you had 2 wooden fortresses here instead, and were eating those deer and not losing those villagers.
Just garrison. Yeah, it would be better. The farms are a safer choice for sure, and that, well, I say that, and he lost a bunch still, but very back and forth game though. They're really keeping it neck and neck. Military numbers, build numbers, very even across the board. I mean, it really is like neck and neck right now.
Let's see here. How's the income for people? 1,400 versus 1,000. Rus obviously has more wood. Gold numbers. Speaking of gold, how far in are
gold
we?
is definitely is really storing the gold right now. He could make a castle play here in a second if he wants to.
Looks like he will. I mean, he still has 4 knights here in the queue.
I don't know that Synthexor is even on gold. Oh, he is. He's got quite a bit on gold now.
I mean, otherwise he has, okay, that's a 0 hunting cabin. That's 23 gold per minute. You just saw it tick up. So yeah, bounty system still working, guys.
These knights just waiting for these Roost knights to come in. Ooh, the line formation, not letting them in. I love that charge.
Can he get a connection?
He's not going to get any knights, but
a little bit. Oh, I don't know about taking this fight.
Yeah, I would not have taken that.
French knights are a little bit hurt. I mean, this is a somewhat even-ish exchange, but I just don't think you take this fight at all.
I think he was thinking he had reinforcements, and it looks like those reinforcements will scare off Vince's here. But he's got his own reinforcements. This is still a pretty even fight.
Nice charge, point blank there from on the furthest unit. And
why is he making archers though?
Well,
I mean, the gremlins, there's just not enough of them to need these archers.
Well, he just won that fight hard. And now...
and all he needed was just knights. Now he's going to age up behind it.
The thing is, now Synthexor basically has no choice but to go into spears because he cannot match some knight numbers at all. Even from 4 stables. And there's double barracks coming out.
Well, the real problem for him that he doesn't understand yet is that he's stuck in feudal. And his opponent is not. These are going to be castle age knights very soon, with an economy that could easily propel him into imperial age in a couple minutes if things don't go quite as well as he wants.
Yeah, I'm a little confused about the guild hall choice because if you have 20 knights up and running and you just won a huge fight and decimated your opponent's numbers, just go.
It's definitely one of those instances.
Institute.
I would have gone for the other landmark. I mean, you would definitely. I mean, Royal Bloodlines right now would be huge. But he's playing the longer game. He's playing maybe the safer game.
Oh my, and Bloodlines got buffed. I didn't even think of that. It's even better now. It would have been insanely good before, and now it is so much better.
It is incredibly good, yeah. No, I'm surprised he didn't go for it. When you have, because the kind of the rule of thumb is if you have like more than 10 knights, you should probably go for it and like beef them up. And he definitely has more than that. A lot of these weak gremlins, they are not going to survive this charge.
The poor gremlins just being thrown away. No.
Yeah. I mean, what else can you do with them? They're just eating up pop space, so I get it.
I mean, you just
But
freed up a lot of pop space by losing a lot of knights, and houses are not very expensive. And gremlins
fair, fair.
could still kill walling villagers or be used as scouts or like literally anything else and throwing them away into the opponent's night mass.
I think he was trying to find a use for him. To be playing the devil's advocate, he was trying to find a use for him. It just was right into the knights and did no good. And there we see the upgrades come in. They are now veteran royal knights, and veterans they are indeed. They have won a couple of battles. They're feeling really comfortable up in their saddles right now, looking for a way, and they're gonna start torching these palisade walls down.
Oh god, he sees the age up, does he? Nope, he doesn't. He doesn't see it yet. But he's burning at the perfect spot. Villagers will just be able to finish in time. Spears and gremlins coming out.
But taking this fight right now is not good. Not good for Synthexor. He has no choice though, because it's in his base. This is not good. These knights are all over, and I think they could win the fight even under the town center fire.
Double TC plus Kremlin plus Spears plus Knights is pretty harsh though. You should not be taking this fight.
He probably shouldn't, but I think it would still be close. But he's gonna back away and just take the raid and go, which is the smart decision here. Look at the Vil kills though, 32-12.
Yeah, it's rough, and he's only 10 villagers ahead. I really wish he would be producing more Vils.
So much further ahead than this. Kind of like the curse of a French player, right? Like really good at microing the knights, not so good at managing the eco at home. You know?
It's like, yay, I killed 15 villagers with my micro. I also didn't produce villagers for 5 minutes.
It's the art of the deal.
Hey, wait, I'm behind.
Art of the deal.
No, he's producing Vils. He's just having lapses, and that should not be. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I mean, I think personally,
you know what? I would do the same thing, so I can only judge so much. But since I'm casting with you, we'll just pretend that we would never make such mistakes, right?
Never.
I mean, I gotta hand it to Synthexor. He is not out for the count just yet. These knights, however, are really scary. He's pushing out at the worst time with those spears. Because these French knights are coming right back home. I don't know why he doesn't have more vision at this point, knowing that these guys are just going to come right back.
He has full vision. He sees the knight. I don't know why he's not going home, though.
I don't know why he's not reacting to this.
I think he's about to tap out. Is that it? Because, well, these knights, they don't have blacksmith upgrades. They don't have range defense, which they really should at this point if you're diving bases like this. And there's a lot of garrison slots available here, but not quite enough for all of your Vils. And the knights are just having fun in the Roost base.
Yeah, he chose the worst time to leave his base. Like, you know your opponent is thinking of closing the door on you. Like, I know that you want to go raid, but send like 2 knights to go raid. Don't send the entire force. Like, you got to make sure you know where this army is at and not let it get back in your base when you are so wide open on the side like this. He could easily have walled in put a wall on the south side, wall that in a little bit maybe. I mean, it's kind of hard to wall in your whole base here with how open your front is, but man.
Spear numbers getting quite scary now for the Night Mass, though. Although not gonna come through. So yeah, Synthexor is going for the relics, as he should. Good choice. He has 3 on the way right now, though that bottom one is not gonna make it home, it doesn't look like.
Yeah.
The problem for Synthexor right now is, if you look at what he has in queue, it's either armored or it's spears, and there is arbalests on the map, and they're getting more and more. Nice keep, by the way. Going for the eco option. Doesn't have the upgrade yet. Oh, never mind. It's an Imperial upgrade.
Pretty good brace right here from the spears taking on the knights. This was actually a good brace. Those spears got a lot of value. I don't know if it's enough. These knights are just so tanky. I think that was a good trade, though. He got rid of most of those spears for a good number of knights.
Do the Arbalests have Gambesons? Let's find out. They do not. They really need Gambesons before you move out on the map. That's the whole point of them. Like, these spears will tickle them. And, well, the knights will still do good damage, but you kind of also do great damage to them. The whole point is you have a front line against spears that your opponent can't do anything about.
And here comes another push. Vincent just has the ability just to come in and dive and just force the idle time and force the issue, forcing Synthexor to try and maintain him military against superior units.
Yeah, I'm confused
Oh, his
why
military is out of place. I don't know where he was going with those.
he was defending his relic. But I'm a little
I
confused why he's
feel
not
like the
making any
Imp at
crossbows
home.
himself. Like, he sees these knights come in time and again. He's only making spears. And knights.
Well, he hasn't seen the arbalists yet.
And you're facing French.
But
There's gonna be arbalists.
yeah, there's gonna be arbalists, and you're right. Crossbows would be really useful just for the DPS alone. Well, maybe he just doesn't. Well, he's got almost 4,000 wood. He's got so many resources sitting on the table he's just not using.
Okay,
His
arbalists have been
military could be a lot
revealed.
bigger.
Gambesons is coming in right now. So what is the plan,
Yeah, once
Synthexor?
that comes in, they're gonna.
Oh my god,
Synthexor
that
just
red
kinda like.
that red palace though. I don't know about this one, buddy. Where's your units? Why are they not
He
here?
doesn't even see it.
Oh
He
god.
doesn't even see it.
That's why you bring a scout
He
with
doesn't
your
see
army,
it.
boys.
Oh man, that is gonna just smart like nuts.
That would have been 12 dead villagers right there.
Yeah, he desperately needed that.
Okay.
He's
And
taking this fight, but it's just a complete red herring for what's happening because there's a red palace on the other side. It's right there.
Vince's just wants to keep him here.
Oh yeah, he might just wall him in again. I mean,
You know what?
he'll take the fight.
I
right?
think you're pretty happy with, you know, the opening being right where the red palace is. You just hope that your opponent's gonna go out there.
I really want to see him pull a villain, just wall this in again, and just be like, "Nope, you're stuck now. Have fun." Like,
There's the Imperial Age. So Synthexor is
he
actually...
doesn't really want to fight right now because he would prefer to, get the imp upgrades first. But at the same time, I
He's
think he wins
winning
this
this
fight
anyway.
even without. Yeah, the crossbows just shred everything here. I
Oh.
mean, they don't trade great into the spears, but what do you care? You just outnumber them.
I mean, these crossbows are completely impervious to the spears. Yes, 6 melee armor. These crossbows do 10 damage. So you get poked for 4 damage every
Yeah,
time.
you're getting tickled. And the DPS you're throwing out instead with the base damage of a crossbow. These crossbows are doing 13 base. I mean,
They're pretty good.
it's actually pretty dang good.
Like, crossbows are a very good unit in general. With the current patch, they're very good indeed. And like, you're usually when I see crossbows, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go mass spears. It's gonna work out in my favor. You can't do that against arbalists.
Nope. You gotta have your own archers or something. And arbalists in this current patch with the way mangoes are so ineffectual. There's not much that can counter this. There really isn't. You just need horsemen at this point, but your horsemen are gonna get caught up with the knights every single time.
So Vince is his imp. He has a ton of resources to work with. His upgrades are coming in as we speak. He's finally getting Iron Undermesh.
This game is over now. We do have the high armory coming out for Synthexor, but by the time it comes up, the upgrades for all of the knights and stuff from Vincent's are going to come in. He's going to just dive the base once that happens, and then Synthexor is basically going imped into GG, I think.
Yeah, he has a different problem right now. He doesn't have any gold whatsoever. He has 4 relics to work with. That is his only gold income outside of bounty. And he's not getting any extra bounty because he's not using the deer from his high trade house.
Yeah, I'm just watching the income a minute just trickle down to 0 slowly on the gold. It was at 800 when you started saying that. Now it's down to 600. It's going to basically just go down to the relics. How many does he have right now?
He has 4. I think it's not going to dip
4?
down too much
Not
because
bad.
he has hunting cabins.
not
He has a
gonna
high
matter.
trade house. What is his high trade house at? Oh, 86. Well, that's a high trade house.
This just isn't enough.
We are activating Pavises. I mean, it gives you +1 range as well, so not bad. Is he?
And those imp knights though just win. I mean, the timing push on this is gonna be too good.
Yeah, I don't know about letting the crossbows fight the knights on their own up there, but he's still winning that. But
I
he's
think they
losing. He's
still
losing a
win.
lot.
He is. But if it leaves your knights free just to raid and have free reign over the base, I think you take the fight.
Yeah, this
mean,
is just done. I
Even
mean,
the gremlin.
these are Imperial
doing
Gremlins,
much
by the
here.
way. These are Imperial spears. They're doing quite a bit of damage.
18 plus 16 against Cav. Yeah, they do pretty good into the. And you can see they did a pretty good dent into those Imperial French knights.
The knights do 32, by the way.
Oh my gosh, that is insane.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Bloodlines is a quarter on the way.
Yeah, I don't like to point towards score very often, but look at Vincent's score next to Synthexor's on the right side.
He's a little bit ahead.
Like, He's a little bit ahead. Yeah.
Speaking of, that was game number 1.
Even if they get up to castle, you're still fine because you can deal with the men at arms for quite some time.
Oh yeah, you have knights. Men at arms you don't really care about. I think feudal HRE can be scary if you're taking like one bad fight initially. It's like Delhi. If you lose a fight, then they're gonna sit on you. But Jenny also wants to fight.
Yeah.
Like if you can keep Jenny alive and can keep her getting experience, you're perfectly fine with fighting all day long. Anyway, we are in game number 2. Vince's is actually up 1-0. Hello, flip score. There we go. Boop. And he is playing the Holy Roman Empire here in the purple, going up against teal. Do you think purple is better than dark blue? I feel like both are horrible here. But
I feel like this color combination is a lot easier to look at than the last one was. The hues are very different. Personally, I'm a teal guy all day, but I prefer to see teal against purple than teal against the blue, to be fair.
Okay. By the way, interesting opening here. Synthexor did use Jenny to build the house, did not use Jenny to build the mining camp, though. Usually you want to be going out building all of your houses with Jenny, because she gets more experience from building stuff than from gathering. But hey, it's a minor difference. So let's talk about Coastal Cliffs, because I don't think it's been around too much lately. People have overplayed this map so much since its release that I think they've been fed up. I still love this map. And reason number 1.
That was me in Golden Heights. I felt like Golden Heights, when it was all the rage, was everything always on Golden Heights. And I felt it got overplayed. Yeah, this is a very beloved map because I think it's simple. There's no gimmicks besides the fact it's just 1/3 smaller. And I think people really enjoy that for aggressive civs. And that's why. But yeah, it's definitely played a lot, maybe even overplayed, but you know, it's just mini Dry Arabia, basically.
It's mini Dry Arabia. The stone is a little further away, intentionally so, to not encourage 2TC plays, which I find very funny, to be honest. Forward Aachen Chapel on the gold.
We podcast a lot about. Oh,
that is
gold and on the wood.
That is.
I actually like that placement. That's a good. I mean, I don't know where else I'd have placed it, and that's probably the best place you could put it.
I would have put it behind on.
But we were talking kind
woods.
of
This is scary.
Yes, I guess it is kind of forward. We were talking though, like about on the podcast. We've mentioned a couple times, like how the meta determines like what maps people likes, and also the maps can determine the meta. This is one of those instances where like, the map is purposely trying to set the meta away from town center play.
Oh yeah, like you could say maybe that's not the greatest design choice to force people, shoehorn them into specific civs and play styles. And I would agree, because it's like basically if you play Cliffside, well, if you're playing English, you already have a leg up. If you're playing Socotra, if you're playing English, you already have a leg up.
Yeah.
If you're playing Haywire, if you're playing English, you already... Wait!
If you're playing Haywire, you've got other problems.
It's in the rank pool, excuse you. I've banned it.
Uh-huh. Just because it's in the rank pool doesn't mean it belongs there.
That is unfortunately very true. Anyway, School of Cavalry only with Jenny, and he's going for an early wheelbarrow. Synthexor is going for not quite the route that I would have thought he would go for.
He's playing it like it's a French game and not a JD game. I'm curious.
Even as a French game, I would not take my sweet time here like this. But yeah, this is kind of like a French build order. Except
it's odd. It definitely feels off meta in a way. Like it doesn't feel like it's following just the standard set of procedures here. It feels strange.
Oh. Look at this wall and
feels weird right now.
Look at his wall and tell me what you think.
Those poor deer. Like
why are they left out? Why not take them in? You could build this the same cost wall, and no, you could make a cheaper wall between the two wood lines and get the entire corner.
The wood lines, I would take the entire corner. If you're gonna build such a long wall, like it'd just be a little extra time to just wall it all the way in.
I mean,
I don't know. You know my opinion on walls. Like I don't love having to wall in stuff. I get why people do it. I get why it's important, but I don't love going for it.
I'll
And
remind you the
this just
next
feels like
time you
they're just
get
hurting
raided to
themselves.
death.
I mean, like, yeah, you got a wall, like, but this wall in particular just hurts. Like, if you're gonna do it right.
Okay, Jenny's out. She's up. She finished her landmark at the 5-minute mark all by herself. She's a crafty woman, and now she's an archer and she's fighting the boar. Actually doing.
And now he's getting double broad axe as well. Synthexor's, I'm trying to understand.
This is a
Trying to
very
understand what the deal is here.
economically focused approach.
Which, like, in some ways makes sense because that's the biggest drawback from Jeanne d'Arc is that economically they lag behind French. But you're doing this at the expense of so much tempo and timing. Granted, I guess Vincent's already has a tower in his gold and would have even if they'd gotten out at 4.5 minutes. But still, I don't know. It just feels like, what's your game plan here? If you want to go for a feudal all in, your timing is really delayed.
I mean,
So if you're playing for a castle, like that just feels like you're just playing into HRE's hands.
it's 6 minutes in. By the way, he just killed the boar. He's not taking it. Like he's not eating this boar. He just killed it for the experience. I'd really love him for him to take that boar, please. And what is Vince's plan?
Considering you're going against HRE that has no map control right now, yeah, it'd make a lot of sense to do so.
Vince's is fully walled in. He's completely ignoring the outside food resources and is going farming now on his forward Archenchapel.
This is disgusting. I hate everything about this. Farms immediately.
I mean,
farms at 6.5 minutes.
If I'm Jenny here, I'm like, okay, cool. And then
you just have map control now.
I mean, look what Synthexor sees right now. This is his vision. He sees the Aachen right there. He sees the double gold with the tower in the back. You just pull a villager, build a tower right here between those double golds, and then you just spam army into this place, and your opponent is off gold. Like, this is a horrible spawn for Vince's. And he's not playing it in a great way, but it's working out for him because Synthexor is taking his sweet time doing anything.
This is, oh man, it hurts.
Oh, I really wish someone would eat this boar. This kind of makes me want to have AoE to like DK on meat, on hunted meat. Not really, but a little bit. Just because this angers me.
You want it out of spite.
Exactly.
Yeah, this it just feels slow from Jeanne d'Arc. It just feels slow. Now, on the counter flip side, like we've been mentioning, like, what is this build from HRE? Like, this is, you're gonna run out of food, you're gonna run out of gold, you're gonna be stuck up a creek without a paddle here in a bit.
I mean, he's not gonna run out of food.
On a cliff with no fish. Yeah, he'll have farms forever, but like, gold is an issue. I mean, you could just camp on that. 2 forward golds, the other one in the far corner. I mean, this is the match made in heaven for French just to sit on.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you want as a French player here, or as a JD player. This is HRE goes full greed, just has everything forward, and well, you can just make units.
I gotta say, I wasn't too sure about the long-ranged hunter Joan of Arc, but she's gotten some picks on Vil's, that holy sanctified arrow of hers, and I'm kind of for it. The divine arrow's done some pretty good job. It's good for picking off those Vils. I wish he'd sit on the gold a little bit more though, because we're at 382 gold. You could really keep Vincent from going up. It's 8 minutes and 42 seconds, and there is, I mean, HRE isn't even close to sniffing Castle Age yet.
Oh yeah, like this is not working out for Vince's at all. I would also remind.
No eco.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I say he's got no eco advantage, no eco upgrades coming in. Besides the fact he has an Archenchapel, he's got no real eco advantage. He's got no second town center. He's got no like boar. He's got no things that give him a clear edge, and he's losing and bleeding Vils.
Yeah, this is not great. Like I wanna remind all HRE players that your prelate is not a thing that is built into the Archenchapel. It can move around and it could inspire villagers somewhere else. As Vince's knows, because he has a second prelate that is inspiring his other woodline. Like, you are not married to this location outside of it being your entire source of gold. And you could have made a second tower here to save that. But yeah, Synthexor just spamming away.
Emergency. Dude, I hate emergency repairs so much. Um, gosh, it's just so annoying that I played a game against Order of the Dragon yesterday where they just sat in their base, and I couldn't. They built the Elsbach Palace and then put
Oh
a
yeah,
relic in it, and there's just there's no taking that thing down, even with like 3 or 4 trebs. I was so mad.
3 or 4. You
But
need like 7.
yeah, I figured that out a little too late.
And at that point, you spend more resources on traps than they spend on their Imperial Age up.
Yep, yep, exactly. It was a rough day.
Oh, not
It's just a
great
good
of a
fight for
fight
Joan of Arc.
here. Heal was, I guess, no, heal was not premature. Yeah, Vince's just taps out. Like he just took the wrong game plan. He took the wrong approach. Like he went full greed
Yeah.
and he just died. Which
Well, you can't go. I mean, full greed. It's not even so much that. It's he was building military. He just was building the wrong military. He wasn't securing the gold. He didn't like. You got to understand the assignment as HRE. Like, if you're going to go fast castle, you got to do everything you can to make that safe. He walled the backside of his base so that he couldn't get flanked and raided from behind. The problem was there was no resources back there. Everything was forward for him, so everything was like he walled out all the resources and then had nothing but a little bit of land inside, and that's not what French is going to push. They're going to push the strategic resources. They really need to get either 2 towers on gold or maybe like arrow slits on the gold, something, and then get up in age and then do something. Maybe a feudal play would have been better there, but then you're kind of playing into Joan of Arc's game plan, so I get why he would want to do that. Well, we were very correct in our assumptions, I believe, in that Synthexor will be playing as Abbasid and Vincent will be playing as English. So
please let him do a council hall all in. Please let it not be a 2TC slugfest.
I suppose you could go 2TC and you could survive for a while. I just feel like Abbasid's gonna inevitably get the upper hand unless you like do something like meme like and try and white tower drop him. But even then, I'm not sure if that would do a whole lot. I mean, Synthexor could easily defend something like that if he scouts it.
Anyway, people, we are in game number 3 of the first round. Oh my god, it's gonna be a long day. Of the Warchief Club number 99, we've got Synthexor playing the Abbasid Dynasty. You haven't seen enough of this save on the ladder, I'm sure. We've got more for you right here. And we've got Vince's playing the English with a very old school opening. Mill double farms. Is he playing 2-2? He's playing 2-2-2. Okay.
I haven't seen that build in a while.
Blast from the past. When I see this build, that usually either means fast castle or it means delayed aggression with upgrades. Because you're investing so much wood here.
Like Back to the Future. I mean, I haven't seen this build in a while.
You're investing.
I suppose it's still viable.
It's good.
Yeah, delayed. I guess the thought process on this, if you want to go for the delayed feudal push, this would actually be pretty smart because your opponent is going to get the town center out before you get there. Like that's just like almost a certainty. Like it's very unlikely you get the longbows across the map in time to deny the town center. It can happen, but on this map, you're better off unless you like appropriately guess where he's gonna go and get lucky. That town center's gonna go up. So maybe delaying the aggression, getting some eco behind it as well, getting some upgrades and stuff, letting some stuff kind of get your economy online, and then going in and pressuring. The longbow still will win pretty handedly, I think.
Yeah, that's my thought as well. Like, I really like the Council Hall all in because it is strong, it is hard to defend against, and well, English feudal is just good. It's just good, and the longer you stay in, you get access to the man-at-arms. You have the economy to support that. Now, here's the thing: Vince's has been going full farms the last 2 games. He has double Dare Pack here on top. If he was gonna eat that instead and do an all-in, I think he would be in a great spot. If he's going farms, we'll find out. Eco Wing coming up.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
I mean, the 2 farms is fine. Yeah, Eco Wing, you don't even need to scout it anymore. You just kind of know.
Honestly, I'm still not sure in this matchup. Because what I'm scared of going into English is Council Hall all in. And I think I'm liking Culture Wing more into that because I want to flee to Castle Age.
That was my thought. I was gonna say, because if you go military wing, you're just not gonna get enough. Military does not give you enough units to deal with an all-in English. But culture could work. You can go culture into Gulams quickly before English is ready to deal with anything, and that could work.
I mean, you can't go naked castle. That just kills you. But
No.
you
No,
can
yeah,
you
you
can
gotta make
go
some
mass
units.
archers, and by the time English starts spamming men at arms because they have the economy to support it, you go castle.
Yeah. Oh, it is the council hall coming up for Vinces. No surprise there. And I like this play. I like where it's at. I think Vincent, if he can just resist the urge, the unholy, sinful urge to create mass farms early in the game, I think he's got a good shot here. I'm curious where the town center. Where do you put the town center if you are Synthexor? Sorry, where do you as Synthexor place your town center?
So myself as Synthexor, I'm just gonna put it right here on this triple woodline gold and deer, which kind of screams, please use me.
Yeah, that's a pretty good spot.
How do you feel about this? Like when you're going to TC and your gold is on the other side of where your stone is, I always die a little inside. It's like, great.
Yeah, it feels kind of bad, huh?
Also, Synthexor is still with 7 on the food, I think. Yeah. Like, you immediately pull off. You don't even need 4 as Abbasid, you just need 3 because the berry gather rate is faster.
Get that going. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does not need that amount of food. You just queue up a bunch of vills. He's got 200. You get the upgrade. I see what I've been doing with this is if you play Abba, you actually get 100. And depending on the civ. If you're going against a night civ, you're gonna get a little bit more than this. You're gonna get enough to upgrade your spears. But in this matchup, you get 150 gold to get both the upgrades, which he has gotten.
Yeah.
Fresh food stuffs, and of course the one from the House of Wisdom. I forget the name of it, but basically the discount on the town centers and all economic buildings.
Fertile Crescent.
Then you have cheap vills. What is that? Fertile Crescent. That's right. That's right. And so you don't need that many vills on food because usually it's like, what is it, 4 to keep up vill production, 3 or 4 vills to keep vill production going. With that in place, you don't need nearly as many, and you can really delay that off a bit.
So where's he putting
He's got the stone he needs. Where's he going to put it? He's not going to put it where we want.
He can build it right now. The thing is, this is the spot that you would want. Okay, but he's putting it on the woodland.
This is not a good spot.
I am not a fan of this placement because hear me out here. Yes, it's protected by the other TC, but it doesn't protect your woodline because longbow is just outrange.
Longbow's outrange. Yeah, and here we see that being showcased right now. I mean, you can just sit outside.
Like, if you can't chop wood safely, you're just dead.
I mean, granted, if he'd have put it on the other side here as well, where we wanted it, he'd have longbows right there anyways. So this longbow push is coming in pretty clutch from Vincent. He's getting the timing down pretty well. He has thus far only placed 1 additional farm, so he's resisted the urge mostly.
Here's the stable, and the thing is, this Abba Town Center timing was a little late. It was okay. It was just slightly delayed, but he also didn't get fresh foodstuffs. So yeah.
He didn't?
Oh no, he did now because he was on the gold afterwards. But like he didn't immediately, so he didn't get the 150 gold instantly.
Gotcha. You know, sometimes I've played with the idea of building a stable first and getting an initial horseman out.
That's exactly what he should have done. That's exactly what he should have done.
I was gonna say because like if you know you can't beat the timing out, like a stable and having a 1 horseman pretty much cleans all this up and forces your opponent to build some spears first.
Like Vinces doesn't even have a barracks at this point. He's just spamming longbows, and so far it is working out for him. He has another problem because his longbows are all over the place. He has sent them everywhere. Now he needs to concentrate them, or he's gonna lose them all to horsemen.
Yeah, and we see him doing that right now. This is where the game gets really interesting because Vincent's up to this point has done a pretty okay job of containing him, but now he has got to be again concerned about the horsemen. This is where it gets very dangerous because once Synthexor's got those eco upgrades, vills are really dirt cheap now. He's getting more vills than his opponent. In a couple minutes, this pays off very handedly.
Have you looked at a payoff chart of second town centers? What is the usual time frame of TC paying off?
What is it, like a couple minutes?
Yeah, you could say couple minutes. So basically, the 11-minute mark is usually where it pays off for other civs.
Oh,
So
that can't
like
be true for Abba though.
after 7 minutes. And Abbasid Town Center pays off after 4.
Yeah, say Abbasid feels like in like 4 minutes it'll be more than pay off for itself.
Oh, this tower is going up, and this wood line.
I like this tower placement.
Not fun to be there. Vince's is starting to make spears. 1 barracks. And he's adding in more farms.
Dude, you get one. Don't resist the urge, the dark urge to make farms. Don't do it. Resist.
Hey,
you've got complete map control.
This used to
can
be
go anywhere you want.
This used to be ideal, but now that you know, the Gava rates have been nerfed somewhat. Okay.
Nerfed, yeah. Why would you have your men eat bread when they could be eating the greatest venison on this map has to offer?
Yet the deer are now just simply better. Oh, but this is a lot of dead
the earth when you could hunt its meat? I don't understand. This wall feels really bad. This was a great catch. These towers, brilliant play by Vincent. This is such a smart play. The added pressure that this gives is really good. We do see some spears coming out. Idlevilles on the wood line. I hate that.
Yeah, this
I do this all. It's such an easy mistake to have happen, and it's so frustrating.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I think Vincent is in a pretty good spot. The Ville count right now is 35 to 33. He has stamped back that town center paying off by a full minute.
Oh yeah. This has been really good for him. And Synthexor is gonna be running out of food soon. Now he has 6 on gold. I don't know about that one.
You don't need gold. Why are you on gold? Like, there's no reason to be on gold right now. If you're going double town center, you cannot eco boom, make a military, and age up and expect not to get your face pushed in by English longbows. You just can't. And these guys should be on a food. He should sneak these villagers out onto the map somewhere. I don't know where, but he needs to find a berry patch, maybe in the south corner, and get out there and just sneakily get food, because he needs to be producing units, and a lot of them. He needs to be making archers on top of this as well, and he hasn't. He just made the first couple there.
And just like that, the forward wood line is denied, and Synthexor has to go out on the backside now. And, well, we'll see if Vinces realizes this, or if he's just gonna, well, yeah, he does have a blacksmith already. He has the steel arrow in, so next point of interest, probably rams. And
Vincent's just walking straight to that wood line. He's not fooled by 1 minute by this. He sees the vills disappear, and he's like, all right, where are they now? Immediately looking for gold. And these gold vills are just completely exposed, too.
Yeah. Horsemen coming out, but they can't fight this. There's way too many spears and way too many longbows. Because, you know, longbows, they are not actually really countered by horsemen.
That said, not a bad engagement so far.
It's not horrible. He's killing quite a few of them, but all the archers are dead. And the horsemen cannot be here.
All things considered, that was a better fight for Synthexor than Vincent's, I think, overall, as far as like material exchanged.
Yeah.
The problem is what's the follow-up though?
Well, the follow-up is he's gonna be pushed off of this back wood line in a moment, and then he's gonna be dead. But he already started farming.
I'm just like waiting for that ram to come out. Although Vincent has not yet picked up siege engineering, he's getting iron undermesh currently.
Guys,
I don't know about that choice.
Get your shifts out. Come on. I mean, iron undermesh basically means he wants to dive the base.
Yeah. I would think to get siege engineering first and build ram. I think the tempo is yours. Don't let your opponent have a breather. But yeah, I mean, he needs both. Those longbows looking for more picks.
This is absolutely horrible.
Get one.
Like these longbows should just hold position right here. Because the second TC is not doing anything, right, the first TC is out of range, and you're sitting on your opponent's entire production. Like every single unit that comes out just gets one shot.
In fact, he should just be rallying to that point too. I mean, there's no reason not to rally right there.
And at home, he's adding a second set of farms. Who's ever gonna eat any deer? We love animals here.
You know the funny thing about this, Askeladd, is that by pushing him off the gold, he has inadvertently pushed Synthexor back into the correct macro.
Yeah, he's I mean, we've got 15 horsemen now. That's starting to become a scary number.
Like, he's actually pushed Synthexor back into the macro he should have been from day one, and he has a market, so I think he's already sold off the gold. Now Synthexor's like the eco numbers aren't good right now. He should be way further than this. Getting picked off that farm, that feels bad. But now he's at least doing the right thing. The question is it going to be enough? It feels like it might be too late. There's a lot of units for Vincent's on the field right now.
Oh, if Vince's just scouted that wood line on the left, he would be like, as soon as this wood line is denied, the game is done. But it's going, it's still going, and we have an Abbasid player. Like, he is ahead in villagers, which is strange, but you know.
Ooh, interesting cleanup on the spears. This could be. Oh no, push that, push that. No. Oh, you have the advantage that the spears are cleared, and then pulling back is the wrong choice. Those horsemen need to start taking picks on the longbows while they're exposed.
If you can trade out with the longbows, you need to keep that.
I think 12 versus 19. I think you take the trade. You also have archers.
It would have been mutual destruction, but English does not want that to happen.
Yeah, that's what you want, because you can replace the military. You've got better eco, even still. Ah, that was such a blunder to take the fight with using your horsemen to take the fight on the spears and getting them eradicated, and then not pushing the issue against the exposed longbows. That is, I'm dying inside, because you cannot let the range mass get out of hand.
Speaking of dying inside, I see these rams come up, but the issue for Vince is, okay, he has triple racks now, and he's going full man-at-arms. Like, he has no spears. His longbows are fully exposed.
Yeah, that's not a good choice. He should have. There's no reason not to stay on spears here. Why does he not? Synthexor just needs to push this. He wins this fight.
I'm not sure about winning, but he can definitely take a good fight here.
Like, that's what you. I mean, that's all you got to do is take a good fight. Eventually, the eco will keep up, right? Like, that's all you got to do is take good fights.
These archers need to be out here and focusing longbows as well. Like, there's no point hitting these men at arms. They are just here to soak up damage. Oh no, this is a horrible fight.
Losing the TC feels really bad.
I mean, he's losing the TC. He's losing all the horsemen. Or is he? Where's the rest of the horsemen? He has 10 of them. They're somewhere.
They're sitting in the base, taking care of a ram.
Oh, this was not a great fight at all for him.
Losing the town center, not getting the longbows out.
That's the issue here. Like, the men-at-arms, they're tanks. Yes, they do decent damage as well. But, like, they're mostly here because they're pretty impervious to arrow fire. And if all 12 of your opponent's archers are shooting the man-at-arm that is not dying, well, then your 27 longbows are safe to kill all the horsemen.
Yeah, the men-at-arms have actually fulfilled the exact function they were designed for here, and they've just soaked up the damage. And now, again, still 23 longbows. That's enough to deal quite a bit. This is a tough fight, and onto the villagers they go.
Over. It is ogre.
That eco lead just draining away.
It is ogre. All the horsemen are gonna die here. The archers are now finally shooting the longbows, and he's gonna lose quite a few of them. But like, the military numbers are just not there anymore. He's just gonna clean house.
Yeah, and honestly, having the towers with the attack speed buff, the network of castles, really good. And here comes a wave of men-at-arms. See, now the men-at-arms can kind of start diving the base, diving the archers. This feels like it's over. You know, and like, being on gold is not the answer here either. He needs to be on wood. He's long distance wood mining out in the corner. That he had that moment. There was that moment again. I want to go back to that where he focused the spears down, even with the horsemen. I felt like, just to get them out of the way, and then he should have pushed. He had enough numbers.
Commit.
He could have swept.
You delete the rest of this wall, and you just run. You just run in.
He really could have. And yeah, you would have lost you would have lost your military, but your opponent would have lost his and had to reset, and that gives you time. All you need as Abba is time.
There's the woodline deny, and now it's over. Done.
Yeah.
And as predicted, Vince's didn't take a single deer.
Gosh. Dude. What?
Hey, it was a well executed 1TC all-in with Council Hall.
It was, but it was the farms are so unnecessary. Just go take the meat of the earth.
It's okay. Claim it. It's English. They're better
farms,
you down. And they're cheaper.
They shouldn't be. I really wish they'd make them less cheap.
Yes.
They need to be more expensive, because you should have to go out. I mean, this playstyle like encourages you to take map control, but it shouldn't just be encouraged. It should be a necessity, because that way you could rate it back, and that way you could have some more options, I think. But with that said, that is GG. To probably no one's surprised there after that last fight.
That is a 2-1 for Vincent. Wait, did I up the wrong score? We'll find out in a second.
Oh, that's how you beat Abba, though. I mean, that's how you beat the
I
Eco
did
Wing
up the
Abba.
wrong score. There we go.
I mean, that's how you do it, right? Is you just range mass. Zugnu all in would do the same thing for like Zushi or China. It's same outcome right there. You know, he just range. I mean, Abba doesn't have a great answer to range because horsemen are super duper expensive, and if you can camp on the food, you just kind of win.